Hello. Welcome to Advanced Vedic Mathematics course, Panini Ashtadhayayi Sthapatya, lesson 35. In this lesson, we shall be focusing upon the formulation Sutri 15 and 18. See, numbers 1 to 18 give rise to 1 to 33 factors. 33 equal to 18 plus 15. The formulations Panini Ashtadhayayi Sthapatya will take us to Dirgha Sutri. These 5 formulations deserve to be entered in a sequence in the TCB dictionary and then in the Sthapatya referencer. Now Sutri is 18, Dirgha is 20, Sthapatya is 22, Ashtadhayayi is 24, and Panini is 26. See in a sequence, and then see it is Devta, here is Purush, here is Samriti, here is Dev, and here is Vidya. As such, we have to sequentially move from Vidya to Dev to Samriti to Purush to Devta. These are the steps in terms of which we have to approach Panini Ashtadhayayi Sthapatya, Panini Ashtadhayayi Sthapatya as Dirgha Sutri. These 5 steps are sequential and it amounts to an orientation, first in this orientation and then in the opposite orientation. It is this feature which will take us to a 5-space hypercube 5 H5. It is 3, 4, 5 and 6 leading us to 18. So it is Sutri. Ahead we have to be at 20, and 20 is equal to D7. The 7-space content with its spectrum 7, 5, 5 and 3, and otherwise we know 5-space as dimension takes us to 7-space. So this sequence of reach ahead to 22 is H6, is a 6-space body, hypercube 6 it is, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then 24 again takes us to D8. It is 8, 6, 6 and 4. Ahead we will be reaching at 26 and it is H7. It is going to be a 7-space body. It is 5, 6, 7 and 8. Sadhkas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic knowledge systems, lively here, applied here, formatted here in Panini Ashtadhayayi, have to sequentially approach from 5-space to 7-space content to 6-space to 8-space content to 7-space body. It is this sequence that a hypercube space body, 2-space content, this is the feature, this is the sequence, this is the order which is to be appreciated, and it is only by having this appreciation, it is this comprehension which will help us have a reach at the organization of the text. And then we have to start with 5, hypercube 5, and we know that it is 3, 4, 5 and 6, 18, and numbers 1 to 18 give rise to 1 to 33 factors, means 15 extract. This is parallel with the dimensional frame of 5-space. It is sutra, and it being the sutra, so we can say that the sutras are going to be 6 in number, as 1 to 5 lead to factors 1 to 6. Now, it is this feature which will help us appreciate that the Ashtadhayayi is having the sutras, the first of which are Sanjaya, and it is of TC value 25, which is 5 square. It takes us to the 4 cross 6 grid, which accommodates all the 24 double-digit numbers of 5 place value system, and the first triple-digit number of 5 place value transcends, and in 10 place value it is value 25. It is the first triple-digit number, and the ratio of 25 and 100 is as 25 into 1 and 25 into 4. It is this feature which will help us reach at the Sanjaya Sutras. So Sanjaya Sutra makes a TC value 40, and this means we will be reaching at the creative boundary of 10 components. A raised to power 5 is to 10, b raised to power 4. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to glimpse and imbibe this feature of the Sanjaya Sutras. The very first sutra of Ashtadhayayi, or Ridir Adach, is a sutra which is Sanjaya Sutra. As such, we can have a proper comprehension and appreciation as to the features of Sanjaya Sutras and the way these sutras are being availed, are being formatted here in this text. The first sutra, the Sanjaya Sutra, as TC value 40, takes us to the creative boundary of a transcendental domain. It is of 10 folds, a raised to power 5 is to 10, b raised to power 4, 10 multiplied by 4, or the 40 coordinates fixation of the creative boundary. The second class of sutras are Paribhasha Sutras. Paribhasha Sutra. Now, Paribhasha takes us to 6 plus 5, 11, and 10 plus 8, 18, together making it 29, which is the TC value of a Brahma. So see, the number 40 is Divyajanam. And 29 is Brahma. One shall sit comfortably and permit the mind to be parallel with this feature of the different classes of sutras being availed here. The very first sutra of Ashtadhayayi is a Sanjaya Sutra, a Divyajanam, and the second sutra is a Paribhasha Sutra, the Brahma creator. How Divyajanam to creator is the situation, is the feature, is the format, is the organization which deserves to be comprehended well and properly. Let these features be properly incorporated in TCB dictionary as well as in this Sthapatya referencer. Therefore, the first entry as Sanjaya Sutra is going to be value 40, takes us to the creative boundary of 10 components of transcendental domain, which is parallel with the formulation Divyajanam. The second sutra, class of sutras, are Paribhasha Sutra. And this value is 29 and here is 15. Together it becomes 44. It is a Paramvijom. This way, see that we have reached from the Divyajanam to a Paramvijom, to a transcendental space. So, from transcendental birth to transcendental space. And otherwise, as Sanjaya 25 is Vishnu, while 29 is Brahma. So see, this organization is taking Vishnu to Brahma. Now, as we have seen that the text of Gita, as the first chapter is 47, last chapter is 78, and the second chapter is 72, the third chapter is 43. The difference value, the gap value here is 25, while the gap value here is 29. One shall sit comfortably and permit the mind to be parallel with these organization features. So Gita text with chapter 1, 2, 3 and the 18th. And we know the first sutra Ashtadhayayi is of TC value 47, while the gap values are 78, and here is the last chapter. So how the first chapter takes to the last chapter, or in other words, it is going to be an organization of a cyclic order as much as that first and the 78 when complete the circuit, difference value is 31, or the summation value is 125. All these features as these are taking us to the transcendental mathematics, the mathematics of a five space as a transcendence within the creator's space. How the creator's space is taking us to a transcendental space means the five space playing the role of an origin of a four space, and it is this five space which because of a spatial order will lead us to 5 cross 5, and further it in a second dimension it will take from H4 to H14, which is of 29 versions. This way one shall continuously extend, update the transcendental referencer and the Sangya Sutra sequentially taking to the values 40 as a Divyajanam, 25 as a Vishnu, this as a gap between the first two chapters, shlokas of the organization of the Gita. And for the second is this. Then we will be reaching at Adhikar Sutra, and Adhikar is of TC value 17, while Adhikar Sutra will make it plus 15 is equal to 32, and it is going to be firstly 2 raised to power 5, and also the same is going to be the 32 internal devatas, and these internal devatas as 8 raised to power 4 and also as 2 raised to power 5 gives us as that the 17 is Atma being, and same is also Dravya, it is also Divya, and then we know that this is a northern hemisphere. The split of a transcendental domain in creator's space is a feature which is formatted, which is making the sthapatya of the Adhikar Sutra. So hypercube 5 as a transcendental origin splits as northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. This way one is to be parallel with it, and one is to update one's sthapatya as well as the TCB dictionary, and one is to sequentially reach at these features. One shall sit comfortably and permit the mind to reach from 40 to 44 and then to 32. It is this way that we will be appreciating, we will be knowing the increase of 4 and decrease of 12. And we know Chatur 4 is of TC value 12, and this also means 4 into 1 and 4 into 3. This also takes us to Ek is of TC value 8 parallel with TC value of 3. See how big are the features in this organization itself, how the gaps of these values have their role to play, and we have to comprehend and appreciate, and we have to be parallel with it. Once we will be parallel with these features, once we will be comprehending it, and once we will be having a clear comprehension, once we will be conscious about it, once we will be having our mind running parallel with these organization features, then and only then we can have the bliss to be parallel with the Vedic mathematics, Vedic sciences, Vedic technologies, Vedic scriptures, particularly the values lively in the Panini Ashtadhayayi. And if we pose to ourselves that if we were in the times of Panini, and if we were thinking and confronted with the situations of organization of knowledge as has been before the Panini, then let us put to ourselves whether we would have been in a position at all to organize, to compose this scripture like this. And it is here where a big responsibility falls upon the Vedic mathematics teachers as to how they shall disseminate this knowledge, how the policy makers shall decide to invest properly for the research in this domain, the Vedic mathematics, how the Panini Ashtadhayayi textbook is to be taken to the mathematics faculty, how this textbook in the library, mathematics library, will be having its placement, how it is going to be accepted, how it is to be translated, how it is to be implemented. Therefore, one shall sit comfortably, one shall concentrate properly that the Sanjya Sutra, Paribhasha Sutra, the Adhikar Sutra takes us to Vidhi of TC value 18. So see, when within a creator's space, the transcendental domain is splitting itself. It splits itself into the northern hemisphere 17, southern hemisphere 19, and here is 5, it is 18. The head is Nishad. TC value is 28. As within this space 13-edged cube coordinating with this solid order, making 13 plus 15 is 28. Like that, we have to be very, very concentrated, we have to be very sensitive, we have to be very specific.